Hello grade 12s, we have reached the final drawing of our PAT for 2022. This is the 2-point perspective drawing, and this is a very technical drawing, and it's important that I share with you some guidelines and rules in terms of how to do this drawing. It is very important that you go back to your floor plan, which is your final floor plan, because everything as previously done stems from your floor plan. Now, it is important to know that when you are going to draw in 2-point perspectivity, that this drawing is not going to be scaled down so that we can have maximum detail on our 2-point perspective. So we're not even going to make it any smaller than what it is. This particular drawing is to a scale of 1:100. And we obviously know, as we've done 2-point perspective drawing in the past, that once you are going to present this drawing in 2-point perspectivity, that you have to angle this drawing, and you have two options. When you angle it, one of these points, or could be 2 or 3, in this case it can either be 2 or 1, preferably 1. The options are that you can either tilt it in a 30-60 degrees format, or alternatively, which I believe is the perfect option, is a 45-degree format. And that is what I'm going to use as an example to show you how the 2-point perspective drawing must be drawn using a format of 45 degrees. It makes everything nice and compact, and it will allow you to have maximum space on the drawing. Keep in mind that when you are going to draw a 2-point perspective drawing, that only the sides which are going to be visible from the stationary point need to be drawn. The PAT instructions clearly state that you need to have a view of the front entrance, and in this case this is going to be my front entrance, and my serving hatch is going to be here. So it's going to be ideal for me to use that as my lowest point, or the point that is going to be touching the picture plane, so that I can have my serving hatch and my front entrance clearly visible. So that means that these parts at the back here will not really be in your 2-point perspective drawing, as those parts are not visible. So by saying that, I can actually fold this drawing like that, and only ensure that these lines here, these walls and that part of the roof is clearly drawn on my blank sheet of paper. So I can push this drawing up really high so that I have maximum drawing space here at the bottom. So just to give you a rough explanation of how the drawing is going to unfold, I would suggest that from the top, and I'm going to assume that the page is covered with borders on all 4 sides, and that you use a measurement of 150 to create a picture plane, which is going to be right there. And that will allow this drawing to perfectly fit into that space over here. This will allow this drawing to perfectly fit into that space. Learners, keep in mind, you might have a T part. You have to maneuver that so that you have a lowest point on your picture plane. Keep in mind that mine is only an example, and that you need to find the best possible view and to alter that so that you can have your best view of your 2-point perspective in this top view. I will then proceed by having these sides measured perfectly here and applying those measurements here, and I'm going to manage my space. So I'm going to have a starter point there with my 45-degree set square on my T-square, creating my roof section, and that is going to be that over there, and measuring 30 to the inside for my wall will be there, and that is going to be my walkway that will go right around my building. I'm going to include my roof as well, and remember the roof is in the center here, so I have to measure the half of my roof covering to be able to get the apex perfectly in the center with my hip sections like that. So you will see clearly how I manipulate these sections of my roof from my final floor plan. Keep in mind that this is a carbon copy of your floor plan which you are redrawing. I also have to include in my wall as markers where the windows and the doors are. So I'm going to measure those distances and apply it here. So whatever the distance is here, I will apply it there and create all my doors and my windows in the wall space. I don't necessarily have to draw the thickness of the wall as it is not visible from the top view, but all the spaces like windows and the serving hatch and the doors must be shown in your wall. So you need to have these markers wherever they are. Once you've created the top view, you need to create some space for your drawing to develop, and for that you need a ground level, and you are going to have a ground level right here, and you can measure between 100 and 120 down from your picture plane to be able to get your ground level. And then of course you need the front or the side, just a section of it, so that that can exhibit the height of your roof, the height of your wall, the height of your stoop on the side here. So you can either go onto this side or you can do that side. I'm going to do mine on this side. So what you need to do is you will take only either that view or that view. If you use this view, you can draw it on this side. If you use that view, you can draw it on this side. So I'm going to use only half because of the space, of the limited space that I have. So this distance here, I'm going to measure in between here, create my two lines. From the bottom, which is my natural ground level, I'm going to go up by 5 millimeters for my stoop section and my finished floor level. From the bottom, I'm going to measure up 4 meter 500, which is going to be 45 on my ruler. That is going to be the height of my wall. So I'm going to draw a line like that there. And I'm going to use my 30-degree pitch, with my 30-degree set square to create my angle of my roof. That is going to be that section over there, which is my apex. So I have this part drawn in here, and it is only a diagram, so you don't need to draw it with the thicknesses as we normally do in our civil drawing. The height from the finished floor level, which is that there, is going to be 2 meter 100, so that's going to be 21 here. That is going to be 4 meter 500, as I've mentioned before. That is going to be 5 millimeters. So 21, 45. This angle will be 30 degrees. The drop of your window, that can be determined by you. I have used a drop of 1000, which is 1 meter, which is going to be 10 millimeters on my ruler, according to a scale of 1:100. Now that I've completed the side diagram to be used for my heights, I can now determine my vanishing point. And keep in mind, the point touching the picture plane is going to go straight down, and on my ground level there, that is where I'm going to have my stationary point, my SP. And because these angles are 45 degrees, you are going to project from there a line up like that and a line down. And the same on this side, a line up like that, touching my picture plane, and a straight line down. How far does this actually go down? And the instructions of the pad clearly states that the horizon line must be in line of the height of your roof. It must be in line with the height of your roof, and your height of your roof is there, which basically means that you will have to draw a line here forming your horizon line, meaning that that point there is going to be your left vanishing point, and this point here is going to be your right vanishing point, which must clearly be stated and printed. With all this information, you will be able to complete your 2-point perspective.
you.